We're all here today with my friend Senator Patrick to discuss an issue that's so important to the state of Texas. It is the key to open the door for opportunity for all young Texans. You know, everyone here today understands that our most precious resource in Texas are our children. That was certainly shown last Friday, in which the tragedy in Connecticut scared every parent. I mean, we've got a 9-year-old, and I was concerned. I want to go to her school that afternoon and just give her a hug, and I was hundreds of miles away. But we're going to do everything we can in the state of Texas to make sure that our precious children are protected. There's nothing I won't do. Nothing I won't do to make sure that our children are safe. Currently, our law here in the state of Texas requires school districts to adopt emergency plans that include employee training and mandatory school drills that'll prepare both students and teachers to respond to emergencies. In addition, under state law, school districts have to perform a security audit every 3 years to ensure that their plan is up to date. According to the Texas School Safety Center at the Texas State University, 78 independent school districts are out of compliance. That's unacceptable. The legislature will consider this year a law that will add penalties for schools that are out of compliance and possibly give the Texas School Safety Center specific authority to enforce compliance. Our children are the future of the state of Texas. And when it comes to getting a great education, whether it's in our public schools or in charter schools or in private schools, I am dedicated to achieving that goal. And Senator Patrick is dedicated towards achieving that goal. We want to make sure that every student in the state of Texas has the opportunity to receive a great public school education in every district, in every part of the state. This session, in addition to protecting our children, the Senate, as I mentioned earlier, is going to address comprehensive public education reform, including testing, accountability by making sure our accountability standards remain high, increasing the number of charter schools, school choice, that parents have Bishop Cantu, more opportunity to make a choice on where their children go to school, and online learning. We want to make sure that our public schools stay strong and viable. Now, Senator Patrick and I know how parents feel about testing. If we've heard once, we've heard 100 times, teaching to the test, and that's what we want to avoid. Today's system, with your 2 different scoring systems, quite frankly, is confusing to educators, parents, and students. But again, we want to insist on strong accountability in our schools in both coursework and testing. However, I think there's room for improvement. Last month, Senator Williams and I sent a letter to the TEA Commissioner, Michael Williams, and we asked him to delay implementing the requirement that 15% of a student's final grade depend on their performance in the STAR end-of-course examinations. Senator Patrick has already filed a bill that I have looked at with him, Senate Bill 135, that'll make the 15% requirement a local option up to the independent school districts. We're currently reviewing the number of end-of-course examinations that should be the right number. And to me, that right number is south of 15. So we're going to be spending a lot of time working with the stakeholders, with our business community. I see Bill Hammond is here, the president of the Texas Association of Businesses. We'll be working with our stakeholders, educators, our businesses to make sure that we come up with the right standards so our workforce is well trained. I also believe in more career and technical education course options, and Senator Patrick agrees. So that our students who want to be career ready rather than college ready have an ability and a course in order to graduate. Again, Bishop Cantu was talking about hardworking families who may not have that option. independently to be able to choose a private school. We want to make sure that everyone in Texas, I mean, I'm a product of our public schools. I've been dedicated since day one when I came into the legislature to make sure that our public schools are improved and everyone has a fair chance to receive a great education. Interestingly, Senator Patrick in the legislation is going to propose letter grades on our schools, not the current 4 designations, but letter grades, so that parents and students will know how their school is doing. If a school earns an A, the parents and teachers ought to know that. If a school earns an F, the parents and teachers ought to know that. There's no question that our children deserve the very best education possible. And we need to make it easy for their parents to determine the destiny of their children. Having a choice means giving children a chance. Having a choice means giving children a chance. There's no question that choice spurs competition because it's free market oriented. It empowers parents to choose where their son or daughter is going to be educated. School choice doesn't hurt our public schools. I can remember individually watching Edgewood Independent School in the early 1990s because of competition to the credit of Edgewood Independent School District and their board and their teachers. They raised the quality of their education and became a recognized independent school district. So choice makes school districts, public schools, stronger. And I'd like to see more choice. That includes easier transfers to other well-performing public schools. If a child is in a failing school system, currently there are 531 campuses which are academically unacceptable. That represents 315,000 young students. That's unacceptable. So we want to make it easier. If a campus is failing, we want to make sure that child is not stuck in that campus under current Texas law, which says you can't reform the school for 6 years. That's crazy. We need to shorten that time period. So to facilitate transfers to well-performing independent school districts, more charter school options. Yes, tax credits on our business tax, Bishop, and triggers that after 2 years, 3 years, whatever we decide, that if a school is not turning itself around, the parents have a right to make a vote and change that school. We need to raise the cap on charters and close down low-performing charter schools. Now, while various reforms are being discussed, the ultimate goal is to improve our public education system. And in summary, as your Lieutenant Governor, I'm going to continue to do everything I can to improve our public schools because our public schools and school choice is the key to unlocking the door of opportunity for all children. Our future, the future of Texas, is being forged in our classrooms every day, and we need to make sure that our children are graduating with all the opportunity to live the American dream.